YeS.
¿Cómo le va? Soy Charlie López. Este es otro capítulo de YeS. ¿Y qué es esta? Esta es la nueva forma de acercarse al inglés. Ahora vamos a compartir algunos segmentos de películas dobladas al castellano para que usted las compare con su versión original en inglés. The movies. Vamos con el primer segmento en castellano.
Bruce, no es divertido. Estaba viéndote. Ibas a morir. Y yo iba a tener que verte morir.
Mientras lo piensa, lo escuchamos de nuevo.
Bruce, no es divertido. Estaba viéndote. Ibas a morir. Y yo iba a tener que verte morir.
Bueno, atención con esto. Yo creo que acá no es divertido, no tiene problema. Estaba viéndote, eso es pasado continuo. Estaba viéndote. Pero lo que le puede complicar un poco es te ibas a morir. Y yo iba a tener que verte morir. Ese iba. Piense en el pasado continuo. Así lo dijo en inglés.
Bruce, this isn't funny. I was watching you. You were gonna die, and I was gonna have to watch you die.
Correctísimo. Bruce, this isn't funny. Funny es divertido. También significa curioso. Y fíjese, tú ibas a morir. You were gonna or going to. Si pone el gonna, no ponga el to. Die. And I was gonna have or I was going to have.
Bruce, this isn't funny. I was watching you. You were gonna die, and I was gonna have to watch you die.
Segunda parte.
Yo estoy bien. Jamás me sentí mejor.
De nuevo.
Yo estoy bien. Jamás me sentí mejor.
Esta es muy fácil. Estoy bien, como lo dice. Y fíjese, jamás me sentí mejor. Lo único que lo dijo lo que nosotros llamaríamos pasado simple y en inglés en ese caso iría un presente perfecto.
But I'm fine, really. I've never felt better.
Correcto. I've never felt better.
But I'm fine, really. I've never felt better.
Quiz.
Vamos a ver cómo anda su ortografía en inglés. Usted va a ver palabras en pantalla que tienen errores de ortografía. Algunas le faltan letras, a otras le sobran. Bueno, la idea es que usted pruebe su inglés. Test your English.
Here we go.
Bueno, ahí tiene las 5 palabras. Todas con algún error ortográfico. Vaya mirándolas y bueno, trate de descubrirlo. Yo trato de leerlas así como están. Skiing, continuous, writing, birthday, studying. Vamos con la primera. Skiing, que es el gerundio de esquiar. Lleva 2 i latinas, cuidado, 2 i latinas. Aparte no se confunde ski con sky. Ski es esquiar, sky es cielo. Continuous es un típico error de los estudiantes de inglés porque tiene U-O-U. Ahí está, U-O-U. Una U, una O y otra U. Writing lleva una sola T. El que lleva doble T es written, que es el participio pasado de write. Y esta es birthday. ¿Nos olvidamos la H en cumpleaños? Studying. Cuando le agregamos la ING, conservamos la Y original. Ahora vamos a escuchar una conversación entre 2 chicos. Uno de ellos se enojó. Yo quiero que usted me diga por qué. Look and listen. Bueno, vamos a ver por qué Ian se enojó. three possibilities. He wanted to use his computer, he damaged his keyboard, el teclado, or John made Ian lose the game, o lo hizo perder el juego. Look and listen.
Oops, sorry.
Oh no, look at what you've done. Oh, I can't believe it. I've lost the whole game. Just how clumsy can you be?
Oh, I'm sorry, Ian. I just tripped and...
Tripped? You didn't just trip. You knocked down my keyboard and ruined my game. You're like a big clumsy elephant. Do you know that?
It was an accident, Ian. Anyway, it's just a game. You can start it over again.
Okay, the right one is C.
I've lost the whole game.
Exactly. I've lost the whole game.
YeS.
A chip on the shoulder literalmente significa un trozo de algo pequeño, especialmente de madera o piedra, sobre el hombro. Esta expresión se aplica a quienes se ofenden con facilidad o demuestran resentimiento. Un ejemplo: She had a chip on the shoulder because of her accent. Ella estaba resentida por el acento que tenía. Hace poco, para los que no se acuerdan, les presentamos a Grinch. Y bueno, justamente él nos va a seguir ayudando a aprender vocabulario. Video Dictionary. Ese que está ahí es un recipiente para residuos. Uy, los cubiertos tenemos cucharas, cuchillos, tenedores. ¿Y qué es eso? No, eso es un martillo. Bueno, vamos chicos con la primera. Ahí está, recipiente de residuos. Uno de los nombres es rubbish bin. ¿Cómo decís cucharas? Decilo vos. Yo creo que la viste. Spoons. Y cuchillos, cuidado que están en plural, ¿eh? Knives. Mirá el plural cómo es. Forks. Son tenedores. ¿Y martillo? No la viste. Hammer, en inglés. Prepare lápiz y papel. Esta es una práctica que usted necesita. Spelling. Tom is my
U-N-C-L-E. Uncle.
He is
R-E-A-D-I-N-G. Reading.
Jenny is my
U-N-T. And.
She is
R-U-N-N-I-N-G.
Running.
¿Qué significa dish en inglés? Bandeja, ahí está, dish. Pero tiene más significados. ¿Por qué no los descubre? Find the meanings. ¿Cuál es la palabra de hoy? Ahí está dish. 3 significados correctos, 2 no. El primero es for cooking or serving food. Vaya pensando. Prepared food. Senior official at university. Plates to be washed. Long, narrow hole. Bueno, estas son pistas. En base a estas pistas usted me dice cuáles son los 2 significados que no corresponden. El primero incorrecto es senior official at university. Eso es dean, no dish, y significa decano. long, narrow hole también es incorrecta para la palabra dish, porque esto es ditch y significa zanja. Las que corresponden son for cooking or serving food, que es un plato, una fuente. Prepared food, claro, porque dish también es plato en el sentido de comida. Si uno dice un plato típico, en inglés dice a typical dish, no a typical plate. Ojo con eso, si estamos hablando de comida. Y plates to be washed. En castellano decimos lavar los platos. En inglés se dice to wash the dishes. Hace ya varios años se puso de moda la palabra topless. Bueno, usted ya sabe, se refiere a la ausencia de la parte superior de un traje de baño femenino. Pero ¿de dónde viene este término? Word origins. ¿Cuál es el origen de topless? Entonces, ¿es una combinación de los términos top y less? ¿Es el nombre de un diseñador o el de la playa donde se impuso? ¿Qué dice usted? ¿Cuál es la correcta? La primera. Topless deriva de top, que significa parte de arriba, y el sufijo less, que en este caso significa sin. En síntesis, topless significa sin la parte de arriba. Y ahora vamos a repasar algunos tiempos de verbos. A ver, por ejemplo, el futuro simple. ¿Cómo se forma el futuro simple? Usted toma el verbo en infinitivo. El infinitivo es el nombre del verbo, ¿no es cierto? Y le pone will adelante y ya está. Por ejemplo, I will go. I go es yo voy. I will go, yo iré. She will play. Ella jugará. Facilísimo. Vamos al pasado simple. Bueno, usted para formar el pasado simple tiene que saber si el verbo es regular o irregular. Si le dicen que es irregular, bueno, ahí hay que estudiarlo o practicarlo mucho hasta que nos quede. Por ejemplo, el pasado de go es went, I went. Ahora, si es regular, es facilísimo. Usted le pone una ed atrás y ya está. Por ejemplo, she played y ya está. Y el presente perfecto se forma con el verbo to have y el participio pasado. Por ejemplo, I have gone. Yo he ido. El participio pasado se forma igual que el pasado si el verbo es regular. Y si no, es la tercera columna de esa lista que usted tiene en el libro. Por ejemplo, she has played. Ella ha jugado. Con todo esto, vamos a completar la letra de la canción My Way mientras nos deleitamos con Frank Sinatra en Sing a Song.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. More, much more than this, I did it my way.
con la versión original. Sing a song.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were...
¿Está listo? Venimos con libros. A ver qué tengo acá. Ah, mire este libro. Este es nuevo. Cambridge English Proficiency Masterclass. Así se llama. Un libro totalmente actualizado y preparado para el examen de Proficiency 2013. Más de 150 ejercicios sobre vocabulario, gramática y práctica de examen. Muchas gracias a la gente de Oxford University Press. Estos readers son impagables realmente en sentido de la calidad que tiene. Es uno de los tantos títulos de Little Mermaid, la sirenita, ¿no? Uno de los tantos títulos que de la serie Penguin Kids. Vienen 6 niveles, incluye una página con audio en MP3 y lo envía Pearson. Gracias, Pearson. Faces, Juan. ¿Qué es esto? Un libro para escuelas secundarias e institutos con 4 o 5 horas semanales. El pack incluye el libro del alumno, el workbook y un generator wheel para realizar juegos en el aula. Muy creativo. Muchas gracias, Macmillan. Y me voy con Top Up. Aquí lo tenemos. Top Up English, Top Up Your English sería. Este es el número 2 de esta serie. Un libro para hacer revisión a distintos niveles para adolescentes. Lo bueno es que lo hace con formato de historieta. Ahí está lo lindo, lo creativo. Practica gramática, ejercita la lectura, vocabulario, writing, listening. Es de Helping Languages y lo envía Study Libros. Hace ya unos años tuve el placer de entrevistar al padre de uno de los diccionarios de pronunciación más prestigiosos del mundo. Me refiero a J.C. Wells. Usted lo conoce, el diccionario de Pearson, de Longman. Bueno, aquí está la entrevista.
YeS.
Bueno, esta es una de las entrevistas más difíciles porque la voy a hacer en inglés, pero claro, tengo que cuidar cada palabra porque voy a entrevistar nada más ni nada menos que al profesor John Wells, autor del Pronunciation Dictionary de Longman, probablemente el más famoso de los diccionarios de pronunciación vigente. Mr. Wells, welcome to Argentina.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And I have to say that it's thanks to the University of Salvador that invited me here to Buenos Aires.
Okay. Well, thanks to the University of Salvador that made this possible. And I was telling my viewers that this is a difficult interview for me because I have to see how I pronounce every word considering it's you.
Absolutely. I shall slap you down if you make a mistake.
All right. So, Mr. Wells, well, we all know you through your famous pronunciation dictionary, which we studied and still, well, check every time we have a doubt on phonetics. But the big question today is, should teachers teach phonetics? And in case you think so, why?
I don't think you should teach phonetics explicitly, but it is important to teach pronunciation, and it has to come in the course of everything else. If you teach the word to live, I live in Argentina, it's very important that people should not say leave. In other words, that they shouldn't confuse leave and live. That has to come in really quite early. You don't have to be technical about this, you don't have to teach terminology, you don't have to teach transcription necessarily. The second thing is that I think people need to be able to interpret what is in their dictionaries. So this is part of teaching students how to use a dictionary. One of the things you have to learn is how to read the phonetic symbols that tell you how to pronounce. So I would do it quite gently like that, and it's only at a fairly advanced stage that people need explicitly to perhaps study pronunciation or study phonetics.
Why do you think students find phonetics difficult and therefore sometimes resist it? I mean, I'm referring to the symbols and all that.
I think it depends upon the way it's presented. I think phonetics is fun, and I like doing it, and I'm very interested in it, so it's never been a problem for me. And I think if you have a teacher who can show that it's interesting and amusing and pleasurable, then that'll encourage the student. Unfortunately, with every subject, there are people who are resistant to it, but the best you can do is make it entertaining if you're a teacher, and perhaps emphasize its importance. You know, there are people who are resistant to maths, but it is necessary to be able to count and to do simple calculations in life. Similarly, if you want to speak English, it is necessary to be able to pronounce it halfway well.
And how early should we begin with the teaching of symbols and all that?
I wouldn't teach them actively until very late on, end of secondary school. But it depends upon the teacher. You know, this is a pedagogical decision which may be different in some cases. But I do think it's important to learn them passively, that is, to interpret the symbols rather than necessarily making people use them actively doing phonetic transcription, though that is valuable as well.
Yes. You know, we all think in general that we learn phonetics to pronounce better. But I feel that phonetics can also help to improve the listening skills of students. Is that so?
Well, yes, I think it can. The big problem with English, of course, is the spelling system. That the spelling system doesn't enable you to bring the pronunciation with certainty. And if you hear a word spoken, you can't necessarily know what the spelling is. So use of a pronunciation dictionary can gradually familiarize a student with these relationships and the many difficult cases there are. Yes, it really is a matter for the teacher to decide how far to do this and how much, but I think an interest on the part of the teacher is very important, and it's important for the teacher to have a good understanding of phonetics and pronunciation. Then they can choose what they may put in front of their pupils.
Yeah. You know, you say learning how to use the dictionary, but when we open the dictionary for the first time, we find it difficult. We really don't know what to do. So how should we train the students to not to be afraid of the pronunciation dictionary?
Well, I'm not even thinking necessarily about pronunciation dictionaries. This is part of using dictionaries altogether. So whether you have a bilingual dictionary at a fairly elementary stage, or perhaps the Longman Dictionary of Contemporary English at a more advanced stage, monolingual, people do need to be taught how to use them, because if they are not taught, they just won't know how to use it. You have to see the indications, of course, the meaning, that's the most obvious thing, but also the grammatical information. Important to know about whether a noun is a count noun or a mass noun, that kind of thing. Verbs and how they fit in with a sentence. We forget to do something means something different from we forget doing something. That's all arbitrary, and the dictionary tells you about that kind of thing in English. And another thing the dictionary tells you, yes, is pronunciation. So you just need to be able to interpret those symbols you find there.
Do you think CDs or CD-ROMs have in a way replaced the pronunciation dictionaries in a way?
Well, no, they're a very great help to it, of course, and my pronunciation dictionary does naturally contain a CD-ROM on which you can, if you put it on your computer, you can see all the material of the dictionary, first of all, but you can also listen to each head word pronounced both in British English and in American English. And that's obviously a great advantage which wasn't available to us in previous generations. So yes, let's make use of it. And similarly with most dictionaries nowadays, there's a CD-ROM. What I don't see so much here, but I've seen in other parts of the world, is people using handheld dictionaries. Maybe that'll come. Then everything is done electronically in your hand, and you don't carry a book around anymore.
And do you like it? I mean, it's a good idea.
Well, I'm not sure, to be honest. It's something new, I expect so. But I like to have a dictionary because it's very easy to jump from one place to another in a dictionary, and not perhaps so easy in an electronic document or device.
One last question today, and it's this. I feel native speakers of English, as it happens in most languages, have changed their ways of talking, of speaking. Well, if that is so, is that reflected in pronunciation dictionaries?
Well, absolutely. It's very important for this to do so. One of the things that I changed when I first wrote my dictionary compared with existing pronunciation dictionaries was to show a more up-to-date pronunciation, what I like to call a modernized RP. For example, if we take the vowel at the end of words like happy, which used to be shown always as eh, same vowel as kit. Now a lot of people pronounce it happy with vowel of fleece, and so I introduced this special symbol of the letter I without a length mark to be a kind of cover for both of these, so that both pronunciations are represented. And I think it's also very good news for the Spanish learner, because it means that in that position it doesn't matter whether it's I or E or something in between.
Yeah. Mr. Wells, our time is up. If you don't mind, we go on next week. Thank you very much for this interview.
A pleasure.
Bueno, ahora sí pasamos al castellano. La semana que viene, la segunda parte de esta entrevista al profesor John Wells, el autor de Pronunciation Dictionary, uno de los más famosos en ese tema. Esto fue YeS, la nueva forma de acercarse al inglés.